We are explaining, you can continue on. Okay, hello everyone. As we mentioned, today we will start with the questions that we received over the email. So over here, we will discuss some of the questions that you find it tricky or you feel like the answers doesn't make sense. So this is the first question. Let's go through it and try to explain why 3 is the correct answer. So the question here requires that you evaluate the underlying text to determine if it is correct or no. You have a Power Apps application or app. You create a new version of the app and then publish the new version. So we have an application that we are doing through Power Apps. We published a new version, okay? And the customer goes through the process of restoring the previous version. So till now, since we said we create a new version, so till this moment, we have two versions, the first one and the new one, okay? Now, what is the customer doing over here? The customer is restoring the previous version. So the customer needs to go to version number 1. In the version tab for the app, you will see two versions of the app. Review the underlined text if that makes sense. The statement correct, select no changes if nothing is needed. So here it's telling us once the customer clicked on restore, he saw that he has two versions. And the argument here is that it should be correct. So the customer should see only two versions and not 3 or 4 or 1. So why no changes needed is wrong. Let's go and check this together. So I will take you through Power Apps, and specifically under the version tab, it's under the details. So if you go to details, then you will see versions, and in versions, as we mentioned, we have the version number 1 and we have the version number 2. Okay, now the customer needs to restore the old version. So here they will click on restore, and once they click on restore, it is telling us we will see or we will get version number 3. So this is the question over here. So after they restore, okay, they will see how many versions, 3 versions and not 2 versions. So 2 versions are there if they didn't restore, but once they clicked on restore, we will get 3 versions. Okay, so this is the first question. I hope you get the answer and why it is a 3 and not no changes are or is needed. Okay, so goes through the process of restoring. So they did already the restoring. In the version tab, they will not see 2, they will see 3. Okay, so somehow it's tricky, but don't worry, you will not get a lot of these tricky questions. It will be around 20% of the exam. Okay, but if you did all the homework by studying on MS Learn, checking our like recorded session, doing the Canvas, and then doing a practice exam, you will master it. Don't worry. Okay, the second question over here. You are a customer service manager. You need to implement a Power Apps portal that allow customer to submit cases. Which type of data source is needed? So let's go through the different component. So we are implementing a Power Apps portal that allow customer to submit cases. Okay. So for this one, we have SharePoint, we have Dynamics, we have Microsoft Azure Storage, and we have Microsoft SharePoint. And we have the common data service. So we have common data service, we have Dynamics 365, and we have Microsoft Azure Storage, and we have the SharePoint. So where we can submit the cases, they selected common data service, but the answer is Microsoft SharePoint. So the correct answer is Microsoft SharePoint, because in Microsoft SharePoint, you can create list, and in the list, you can automatically get the data. Now, why we didn't create common data service? Common data service, it's more like you can create your own database, but in SharePoint we have list which is used for submitting cases and so on. So it's a dynamic way that is already created. Now this is super tricky. I know that the confusion will be high over here between common data service and the different, because all of them are storage. So Dynamics 365 is out of the picture. Microsoft Azure Storage is out because it will be costly. No need for going to that extent. Between Common Data Service and Microsoft SharePoint is the easiest solution. Why? Because in the SharePoint already you have a place where you can create things related to cases. And number two, with the SharePoint, it's dynamic. Okay, so here you have to create it on the Power Apps, so that might take maybe more storage and so on. Okay. Now we have this question. We have the question that is saying manage solution must. Okay, so here are some of the tricky words that you can find on the exam. So they will use things like must, can, and so on. So there is a difference between must and can. Can is like, it is one of the options. So if this is correct, then the sentence will be true. When they say must, it means that this is the only way that you can do things. Now, what we are doing over here, managed solution must be used to distribute a Power Platform application. Okay, someone open the mic. Do you have any question? Do you have any question? Oh, okay, it's by mistake. Okay, let's continue over here. So what we have is managed solution must be used to distribute a Power Platform application on app source. This is one way why we use managed solution, to make it more structured. So we go create something called solution, and then we add all the component of that app from Power Automate, from Power BI if we have, from Power App, and so on, into one like package if you want, and then we can upload it to the App Store, where like the marketplace, where customer can see your application, they can try it, and they can purchase it from you. So that is one solution. But also we have other solutions. So as we can see here, App Source, the way that we put the things on App Source, managed solution is recommended, but it is not the only solution. We can have internal sharing through direct sharing. We can have it through pipelines. We can have it also to put our solution on GitHub, or also we can distribute it without really going through the managed solution. However, managed solution is recommended. So this is sometimes a tricky question because they are using wording. So the wording is changing the full meaning of the question. So if they put here managed solution can be used, then yes, true. But since they put must, it is not a must, it is a recommended. Okay, so pay attention for this kind of questions, and make sure that you revise the sentence before you click on the right answer. You have plenty of time. You will have around 45 minutes, and you have around 1 hour to finish the exam. So take your time while you are doing the exam. Another thing over here. So we have Power Virtual Agent Chatbot can be created directly in Microsoft Teams, and the answer is wrong. Why the answer is wrong? So if I try to go to Microsoft Teams to create a Power Virtual Agent, first of all, it will ask me to have Power Virtual Agent for Teams app. So here, if I go, for example, was showing it over here, maybe. I was trying it before we start. Okay, so here, if I want to do something related to Power Virtual Agent, I cannot do it out of the box. I have to go to install Copilot Studio as an app. And then from here, I have to go to do several steps. So it's not automatic like in the Copilot for Studio outside Microsoft Teams. And number two, over here, if I click on Start a New Bot, it will be only available within that particular team. So if I created a bot, it will be only available in that particular team. It will not be available, for example, to put it on a demo website, to download it as a package, and so on. So the answer here is wrong because it should be like not directly in Microsoft Teams, but using the Power Virtual Agent for Teams app, or it could be something related that not all things are available as Microsoft Teams. So if I want to create a chatbot that I can put on a website, I cannot go to Microsoft Teams and create it. If I want to create a chatbot for Microsoft Teams, then yes, I can start directly in Microsoft Teams. So this is a misleading sentence, okay? This is why it's wrong. Again, in the exam, you will not find a lot of these. Maybe they have 20%, 10%, just to segregate between the grading from 700 to 1000, so that not everyone will take that 1000. But you can take it if you were cautious enough and really read between the lines. But I totally agree with the person who sent us these questions. These questions are really tricky. Now, here another question. A Power Automate Cloud Flow can be added to a solution by using the Power Automate mobile app. And the answer is true. Now here, where I need you to do some kind of research before you sit for the exam, and try not to memorize, but to make yourself really familiar with what Power Automate, for example, mobile app can do, Power BI mobile app can do, Power Apps mobile app can do. And maybe a good practice is to search and put them on a piece of paper just for you to know really the difference of the things that we can do within each application via the mobile phone. So for your information, using Power Automate mobile app, we can create and edit flows. Now, the simple flows, again, it cannot be so complex. If we need to have a complex flow, then we need to go to the web app or the portal. Monitor and manage flows. Also, we can check the run history, we can view details, and also we can see the messages, error messages. So they make it available so that technical support team can do the support while they are using their mobile phone if anything happened to the flow. You can also trigger instant flows manually. If it is a manual flow, you can trigger it from your mobile app, whether it is downloaded on iOS or on Android. You can receive notifications and approvals. You can connect to multiple environments. You can view and manage connectors, and you can run business process flow. Now, limited, yes, but you can do all these things. So here, Power Automate can be added to a solution by using the Power Automate mobile. Yes, we can add. Okay? So just familiarize yourself with these options that we have on the mobile app. Okay, now let's go to the questions that we prepared for today and check how you attempted to solve the questions and what is the correct answer for each and every one. Okay. And always, if you have any question, please type it in the chat. I see that we have new joiners. The form is there. Try to solve it because it's a good practice to see the quizzes or the questions before we start attempting to solve it. Okay, so here we have a section. Why we have a section? Because one question or one input, and we have two questions related to that input. So let's get started. The question is saying you need to read data from Microsoft Excel file. Okay, so I'm reading from Microsoft Excel file into Microsoft Dataverse. Okay, Microsoft Dataverse is the table. And then copy that data into an enterprise resource planning. So what I'm doing, first of all, I'm copying from an Excel sheet to Microsoft Dataverse, which is the tables within Power Apps. And from here, then I'm automatically copying whatever is being added here into an ERP solution. Okay, you need to configure the connectors. How we are doing the connectors, what should you use, and to answer drag and drop or like select the correct answer. Let's go here and start. So you are developing a Power Virtual Agent chatbot. The chatbot must respond to the user question by using instant messages. You need to deploy the chatbot. Where should you install the chatbot? So I guess I have a mistake in the ordering. Yes, I guess I have a mistake with the ordering. We will come back to that question and I will tell you which question is related to that one. Yes, so number five is the question related to section number 1. Okay, so here it's telling us import into Microsoft Excel. So how we can import to a Microsoft Excel if we are using connectors? How we are importing. So we have triggers, actions, business flow, and business rules. Let's see what you answered for this question, and we will go through it step by step. So it's question number 5. Let me see what you answered. Okay. Most of you are saying action, but the answer is trigger, and we will see why trigger. So, sorry. Okay, so why it is a trigger if I want to import into Excel sheet? If I want to import into Excel sheet, it could be, for example, by a click of a button. Okay, so it is an instant. It could be by like automated. For example, whenever a new row was added to Excel sheet, then import into the Excel sheet. So this is why it is a trigger and not an action. Okay. Now, what else we have? Synchronize data into to ERP system. Now here the answer is business flow. Let me see what you answered over here. Action and business flow. It is a business flow. Okay, so it is a business flow because we need a full flow. It's not only one action. So it is to synchronize data to ERP. Action is like one step alone. Okay, so it's not only one step. It is a series of steps. So this is why we are selecting business flows versus action. Okay, so make sure that this is really tricky. But this is the difference. So an action is one step, whereas a business flow is a series of steps. So for this one, if we are synchronizing data, synchronization is a big thing. It's not like one step where copy this from here to there, do this and that. So this is why it is a business flow and not an action. Okay. Now, why it's not a business rule? Because we are making it automated through Power Automate, and the business rules, let's familiarize ourselves with the business rules. So what are the business rules? Let me take you through what are the different things that we can do within the business rules. Okay, so within the business rules, which is one thing that we have as part of the Dataverse, we can set column values automatically. We can clear column values. We set column requirements, show or hide columns, enable or disable columns, validate data and show errors, create business recommendation. So all of this doesn't have to do with data synchronization. If we need data synchronization, that it will be a series of steps that can be enabled through a business flow. Okay. Just do this kind of comparison in order to be able to like answer the questions. Okay, so let's proceed. And if you have any question, please go back and type it in the chat. Ammar, since I'm not able to see the chat, please let me know if they write any question on the chat. Okay, now we will go back to question number 2. In question number 2, we are saying you are developing a Power Virtual Agent chatbot. The chatbot must respond to user questions by using instant messages. Okay, so we are using instant messages. You need to deploy the chatbot. Where should you install the chatbot? So first of all, I need to deploy the chatbot. So I need to take it from Copilot Studio, where I will install the chatbot. Can I install it in Power Apps? Can I have it in Power Platform? Can I have it in Microsoft Teams or on your desktop? Now, let me just show you something over here. Let me show it here. I was opening just for you to see the differences. So once you have an agent or a chatbot, you have a couple of things that you can do with the agent itself. You can do it with demo website. This is automatically. Okay. Knowledge, topic, action. Oh, here, I guess. Yes, over here. Look at this one. So once you publish, you can have these options. Either you go to a demo website or you export the agent. So where you will be exporting the agent, you will be exporting the agent on your desktop so that you can put it, example, on another website and so on, or on an application by doing a packaging and so on. So the only like answer over here, either you have it to do a website demo, or you can export that agent. Okay, and when you export it, it will go automatically to the desktop. Okay, so let me see what was your answers for this question. Let's go back. Okay. Okay. Why not Microsoft Power App? We don't have Microsoft Power App. And here in Microsoft Teams, you have to select at the beginning, as we saw, that we need to put it in Microsoft Teams. Or when we share it, we can share it in Microsoft Teams. But since we are saying we are deploying it, so we are deploying it outside the environment, then it should be on the desktop. Okay? Yeah, we are moving to a tricky questions over here. Let's proceed. Here we have Power Virtual Agent can directly be created in Teams. So this is another question which we explained, that it cannot be directly. It has to be through an app that is downloaded and saved in the Teams. And then we can create a Power Virtual Agent for a specific team and not a generic. Like in Copilot Studio here, for example, if I created this QU Copilot, as you can see, I can put it anywhere I need. I can export it, import to it. Like if I have another agent, I can have a demo, and then I can publish. I can share. If I want to share, then I can share it on Microsoft Teams on a specific. But if I created that chatbot in Microsoft Teams, it will be only available to that specific team. Okay? So put this information in your mind. What was your answers? Let me drag this one to the end. Okay, so that it will be easier for me to see your answers. Yes and no. The answer is no. Okay. Let's continue. Okay, so here, number 4, we can test and use the bot that was created through Power Virtual Agent and MS Teams. Yes, we can test because we can click on share and then share it in a specific team, and then we can test it. So here the answer is yes, because yes, we can test, but we cannot create everything automatically within Teams. We have limited options within Microsoft Teams. Perfect. Let's continue. Any questions so far, Ammar, from the students or the attendee on this call? So far, so good. Okay. Let's go to this question. A company plans to implement Power BI. Good. The company wants to implement some specific features that Power BI doesn't include. Okay. You need to recommend solutions for the company. What should you recommend? So what we need to comment, the company wants to implement some specific feature that Power BI doesn't include. You need to recommend solutions for the company. What should you do? So first of all, what we can do is, first of all, we need to evaluate solutions that meet current gaps in Power BI. Which one of these we can check the evaluation? I'm not sure if you will find it as part of MS Learn, but this is also sophisticated. We have something called Microsoft Life Cycle Services. This is like a consultancy for the companies. And within this, we can click on create a project. And then from there, we will have a list of solutions if you want, where we can drag and drop and see what is missing for us as an institution. And also, there are recommended Power BIs that are created over there that we can download as a company and utilize. Now, I don't have access to that particularly, but let me share with you how it will look like. So here I went to, let me say, copy link and show you a little bit about this website, which is called Life Cycle Solution. It will be given for free per a company, just for them to have, as I mentioned, like a consultancy on the different app. For me, I don't have it, but I will show you the assets. So we have a lot of assets. Select the assets. I'm not able to select it. Yesterday, I was able to select it. So we have a lot of assets. I can select the product. So for example, Power BI, it's not working. So try it from your side. I will give you the link. Okay, yeah, here you go. So this is the life cycle services. Okay, from here you can check, for example, as an organization, what are the different apps we are using, what is missing, and so on. We can manage through a methodology. I don't have it right now, but try to go and read more about the life cycle services. Here under shared assets, this is very nice. I'm not sure why it is not showing today. Yesterday, it was showing all the apps or all the solutions that are under Power BI. I was able to download one. And then once I downloaded, I just need to establish the connector, for example, with SQL, with blah, and the dashboard will be ready. So lifecycle services is the solution for here, evaluate solution that meet current gaps in Power BI capabilities. So the right answer here is Microsoft Lifecycle Services. Now, will they bring such questions to the exam? We are not sure, but take this as an opportunity for you to learn more. So if you see here, for example, Microsoft Lifecycle Services, go and read more about it, familiarize yourself with it. This might not come in the exam, but if you join a company, they might be requesting this. They might be requesting, do you know a solution where we are able to evaluate the solution that meet current gaps in Power BI capabilities? And then you will recommend, yes, let's go to Microsoft Lifecycle Services, where it is given for free per company once they have Dynamics and so on license. And from there, you will be able to evaluate the solutions. Okay. Number two, evaluate the services of multiple companies to identify a partner that can assist in building a proof of concept solution. This is very important. So let's say now we were able to check the gaps and we want to bring a solution. And that solution, we want to bring it from a partner. How Microsoft is helping in this or in establishing this, we have something called Microsoft Azure Marketplace. So on the Azure Marketplace, it is like a store, like Apple Store, like Play Store. It's a store for Microsoft. Microsoft will enable and will permit the partners to put their solution on this marketplace, and the partners are free to give free trials, which is like proof of concept. uh, Microsoft also will allow for rating, so you can see the rating of this solution, and you can automatically purchase your solution via the marketplace. Okay, so automatically, even if the partner is at Japan, US, wherever is the partner, if they are putting their solution on the marketplace, you can go and purchase it automatically. Okay, so the questions here, I'm not sure. Let me see what you answered for this one. Okay, Microsoft App Stores and Microsoft. So you knew about the Microsoft Azure Marketplace, but the first one is not App Store. Unfortunately, we don't have something called Microsoft App Store. It is يعني Microsoft App Store is the Azure market space, but to identify and so on, it is the life cycle. Okay, let us proceed. And thank you for those who are still filling in the form. I can see we have 21 responses so far. So even if you joined us late, like try to go through the questions. We are still in question number 7, so you can follow with us. Okay, let's proceed. A company uses Microsoft 365 and Power Platform. Okay, you don't assign permission to any licensed user. So here I have the license for Microsoft 365 and Power App. As admin, I'm not assigning any extra license. Users are able to create and edit Power Apps, which is the canvas. In which environment the users are creating and editing? By default, they are automatically in the test phase. So by default, everyone can create and edit while they are in the test environment. Once we go to the production, then you need to set permissions. Who can access my application? Who can view what with the business rules, as we saw previously, like row permission, row level permission, and so on. So while we are creating and editing, we are doing it under the test environment. Sandbox is not there in Power Apps. Okay. Sandbox, these are virtual like machines that are given for free as part of MS Learn, by the way. So in MS Learn, if you want to do a lab, because labs are available, you will have sandbox, like virtual machines that will automatically open for you for 1 hour to finish a specific lab, and the instructions will be showcased within that environment. Perfect. Number 9, you are using Power Virtual Agents to create a chatbot for your Power App portal. Okay, so here for the Power App portal, you need the chatbot to start from the beginning of the conversation if the user input is unrecognized. What should you configure? So what we have, is it a trigger? Trigger is not part of the Power Virtual Agent. Trigger is part of Power Automate. So this one, no. AI feature, AI feature has nothing to do with a wrong or unrecognized like input. No, not at all. Error message, it could be something or part of fallback topic. So what is a fallback topic? A fallback topic is, as we are mentioning here, something that the user wrote and it is unrecognized as part of the trigger statement for the chatbot. So I put something here about fallback. Okay, let me show you. So in the fallback, whenever the user wrote something that is not part of the knowledge base, something odd, something not recognized, we need to have something called fallback topic. So what is a topic? We need to create topics like hello is a topic, goodbye is a topic, do this as a topic. So these are topics. One of the topics that we should have, and it is automatically there. This is what I took a screenshot of, but you can customize it at any time. So here it's saying unknown intent. Intent is a phrase. a known phrase. So once we have a known phrase, then we have a condition. We have two conditions. Either we go into a fallback count and it's counting, for example, how many attempts, and then we are writing a sentence. I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to help you. And it will go back, for example, to another topic, maybe escalate. Okay, and escalate, maybe we have something related to a live chat where we are directing the user to that live chat. This is written by default, but you can edit it. You can put conditions, you can change the messages, you can do whatever you need. But remember that fallback is something essential when you are creating a chatbot. So your chatbot will have a backup if the intent or the phrases that were written by the customer are not part of the knowledge base or whatever you did as training for that chatbot. Let's see what you answered for this one. No, not production. Production, you need to assign permission. This is a need. Fallback, amazing. Yes, it is a fallback. A trigger is a phrase that we are saying to start a discussion. Okay, so the whole thing is called a fallback topic. Okay, let's proceed. Here, a company uses Microsoft Power Platform to manage support tickets. Okay. Customers submit support requests by sending an email to support email address. So the customer needs to send a request. So the first thing they are doing is sending an email to the support email address. All high priority emails must be logged into a Microsoft Excel sheet. So we are receiving it via email, but we need to save it into Excel sheet, but only the high priority email. This is a typical question that you will have at any institution so that you are really documenting what you are doing and you are taking care of high priority emails. You need to identify the components that are required for logging the emails in Excel. Now, at the level PL 900, they will throw cases on you, but they will not go into details on how we build it. When we progress more into more sophisticated certification, at that time, you will have questions related how we can do this. Okay, here, what they are testing is they are testing whether you know what we can do with these different applications. Okay. So you recommend, for example, we want this, so let's do this and that, okay? You need to identify the components that are required for logging the emails in Excel. Which component should you use to answer drag and drop? Let's see. So if I want to start a flow, and here I'm speaking about a flow within Microsoft Power Platform, when an email, when a specific email is sent. So how I can achieve this? Start a flow. So always we are starting a flow with a trigger, correct? What was your answers for this one? Trigger, condition, action. Okay, perfect. Let's see. Exactly. So we start always in Power Automate with a trigger. So the trigger is a new email was shared. Okay, so this is a trigger. Now, evaluate whether an email is high priority in the flow by using a condition. So this one is called an action. Okay. We need to create a row in Excel. So we are going outside Power Automate to create in Excel. So this is automatically a connector. So I guess most connector, you didn't get it. Connector is where we are connecting outside. So I'm not sure if I have time to show you something in the Power Automate. Automate. Okay, so once we create, click on create. we will have several things. So which is the trigger? Let's say automated. So in our case, it is an automated cloud flow. You see, show all the triggers. So for example, a new email, let's say, when an email is flagged, when a new email arrives. So you see it, this is the option and it is under triggers, okay? If we want to click on when a new email was, I will not create it for you, but I just wanted to show you how it works. Okay, we will not create it, but I want to show you how it is done. So this is the trigger. This is the first starting point. We call it a trigger. Now, from this trigger, I want to check whether it is high priority or low priority. So here I will click on the plus, and this is an action. Okay, you see, add an action. So this is called an action. Here in the branching, it's called an action. Now, if I want to connect to Excel, so here I will write Excel over here. Excel. So Excel, everything under Excel, add row, remove row, it's called connector. Okay, so this is very nice for you, really. This certificate is an opportunity for you to go into deep these three applications. You don't need to create, but just to understand. And this is very nice if you are sitting in a meeting, even if you are fresh graduate and they are speaking about all of this, you know the terms and you can differentiate between one term and the other. This is why we are holding all these sessions for you so that you are getting more information and you are ready for the workspace. Okay, let's continue. Power Automate for desktop is an application that must be installed on a computer for sure. And it requires license, and you cannot only download it and go. It requires a license for Power Automate Desktop. And Power Automate Desktop, it can mimic whatever you are doing. So if I'm doing a specific step, it can mimic it and do the flows on the go. So this should be a straightforward. Let me see. Yes, so exactly, it's a straightforward answer. Okay, let's continue. New joiners go through the Microsoft form link and try to do the attempt as well. Let's continue. Business process flow can be created by using the Power Automate portal. So business process flow can be created by using the Power Automate portal. Yes, actually, everything can be done in terms of automation through the Power Automate portal in terms of flows, whether it is simple, complex, business, whatever. Okay? This is a straightforward as well. Let's see. Perfect, amazing. 90% make it or answer it correctly. Okay, let's proceed. A Power Automate flow button requires a user to provide input before clicking a flow button. No. So in Power Automate, I don't really need to input. It is a button. It's called a button. So if I'm asking something to be input, then it will be automated. So I will say once an email is sent, once someone wrote this, once a new row was added. So if I'm inputting something, then that is automated. If I'm clicking on a button, then this is a button click or a clicking flow button. Okay, this should be also a straightforward. Yes. Okay, so the answer is no, it's not yes. Not input. Pay attention. So the input is the tricky word over here. It's not an input. If it is a button, then a click. It should be a click. Okay, let's proceed. Power Automate flow can be triggered from virtual button. Power Automate flow can only. Okay, pay attention. Let me see what was your answers. No. Okay, yes, correct. Now you know the trick. Can only is the tricky word. It can be done through through virtual agent, through Power Automate can only be triggered from virtual buttons in a software. No, it can be a Power Automate. By the way, a Power Automate can be triggered from a virtual button in software. They are switching. So here, Power Automate can be triggered with an input. If they put input here, then this will be correct. And here, if they put can be triggered with a virtual button in a software, this will be correct. They are switching. Okay, so pay attention. They are just testing your information about how the trigger will happen for an automate flow versus a button flow. Okay, pay attention to the wording. Let me see what you answered for this question. Okay, so you said, I guess here, no, and the correct answer is no. Correct. Perfect. Let's proceed. You are developing a Microsoft Power Platform solution. Good. The solution uses data stored in Microsoft Excel. Okay. A Microsoft, so in several space locations, Excel, Microsoft Dataverse database, and Azure. Okay, so we have three. You must create several visuals to enable the data to display on a screen without moving the data out of a source. So we don't want to move things out of the source. We want to keep it. So which solution should we use? For sure, Power BI. Power BI can do the connection. So here the question is about the connectivity. Can Power BI connect with Excel? Yes. Can Power BI connect with Dataverse? Yes. Can Power BI connect with Azure SQL database? Yes. Okay, so the solution is Power BI. Yes, correct. Let's proceed. For those who are joining us, please go through the Microsoft forms and try to fill in the answers because I need you to get exposed to the questions. Okay, let's proceed. A company is implementing a customer service solution by using Dynamics 365 customer service. The company is extending the solution to meet additional business requirements. Okay, the solution has the following requirement. Customers can log on to a secure website and view the progress of customer service tickets. A refund request over a certain value can be automatically sent for a managerial approval in Microsoft Teams, and create a custom page showing a gallery of pictures within Dynamics 365 Services application. You need to use Microsoft Power Platform technology to implement this solution. Perfect. Now the question will be, which solution can do what? This is a common question in the exam. This question is really common. You will see a lot of questions like this. They will start with a case study and they will tell you which product from Microsoft will serve the need. Let's go through it. Customers can log on to a secure website. If I'm seeing the word website, automatically it is Power Apps portals. Okay, so portals is the only solution that can, let me show you here. I have an image here. So, okay, no, it's not there. So Power BI, we know visualization, Power Apps to create application, Power Automate to automate things, Power Virtual Agent to create chatbot, and we have portals. I'm not sure if it was covered. Portals is something that we can use in order to create website. Now, refund request over a certain value can be automatically sent. Since I heard the word automatically, then it is Power Automate. This should be an easy question. Create a custom page showing a gallery of pictures within the Dynamics customer service. I don't care for all of this. It is an application, then it is Canvas app. Let me see what you answered for this. Oh, don't tell me. Let's go quickly. Canvas app, okay, no. Always, whenever I have website, then it is portal, then automate, and then Canvas app. This is correct. Perfect. Let's continue. For all new joiners, go through the questions, please. I need to see how you are thinking about the question and how you are attempting to solve it. Number 17. Okay, so here for each of the following statements, select yes if the statement is true, otherwise select no. A Microsoft Power Platform environment must contain a Microsoft Dataverse. So a Microsoft Power must contain a Microsoft. No, it's not a must. A Microsoft Power Platform can connect to anything. Can connect with Power Platform. Sorry, with SharePoint, with whatever you need. And sometimes you don't need to have the Dataverse. You can use Power Platform like for anything. Okay. An app created in an environment can only connect to the data source that are deployed in the same environment. Yes, you cannot deploy or connect to data that is not in the same environment. You have to be in the same environment. We are speaking of the Microsoft Dataverse that is connected to this app. Okay. Microsoft Dataverse for Teams environment are automatically created for all members of the team when you create a Microsoft Power Platform in Microsoft Teams. Yes, so it will automatically create a Dataverse where it's storing the information, and the sharing will be automatically given to all members of the team. This is the beauty of Teams, of creating an app in Teams. So why we go and create an app in a team? We create to facilitate the sharing and the permission steps. So I don't need to create a shareable link. I don't need to validate who is checking my application. I created within that team, and a Microsoft Dataverse will be automatically created and giving all the team member the permission to access. Let me see what you answered over here. Yes, no, 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 yes, yes, no, yes. Okay. Okay, let's proceed. Sorry, but we reached question number here. A company plans to implement Power Virtual Agent chatbot. For each of the following statements, select yes if the statement is true, otherwise select no. A topic in a chatbot can have several trigger phrases. Correct. So if we go to a topic, for example, goodbye is a topic. So we might have several phrases. You see it? So phrase bye, bye for now, bye now, goodbye. So all these phrases are under one trigger, which will trigger this topic, which is called goodbye. Okay? So this is correct. So the answer is yes. A chatbot can call a Power Automate flow in a different Microsoft Power Platform environment. We said no, we need to be on the same environment, whether it is production or testing. Okay? You must publish a chatbot after making modification for the changes to be visible. 100%. So after I do changes over here, even if I wrote single thing like related to a phrase, I did action whatsoever, I need to publish, and then it will be ready for others to see the changes. Okay? I guess this is the one. Yes, no, yes, no. Okay, cool. Let's proceed. Here, you create a Power Virtual Agent chatbot for a company. The chatbot will use common channels and services by which the company communicate with customers. Okay, you need to determine which service the chatbot can be used with or add to. This is a very nice question. So I created a Power Virtual Agent with Copilot, where I can put this agent. Here again, go ahead and check for you, check what or where we can put the virtual agent. And here is the list. So we can deploy or use this chatbot on Microsoft Teams, on M365 Copilot, on a demo website, as we saw, on a custom website, so our own website, on a mobile app if we have, on a Facebook on Azure Bot Service Channel. And what we mean by Azure Bot Service Channel, it means we can have it added to the Skype, Cortana, Slack, Telegram, Twilio, Line, Kick, GroupMe, direct line speech, and email. So make sure that you familiarize yourself with all these options on where we can deploy a chatbot, because you will get a lot of common questions around this. Okay, this is very important, and it is a common question related to Power Virtual Agent. Actually, this is helpful because you are spending time to create that chatbot. Where you can put it, you should know where you can put it. Let me go here and see. So Facebook, okay. Power BI, no. Microsoft Azure Event, no. Microsoft Azure Service Bus, no. Yes, Microsoft Azure Bot Framework, correct. Okay. What else? You are creating a Power Virtual Agent chatbot to help users search for availability meeting rooms. This is very nice question. Within a building, the chatbot must meet the following requirements. So what are the requirements? First of all, allow user to initiate the chatbot by typing the phrase "help me meet Kuro." Provide meeting room capacity options of 1 to 4 people and 5 to 10 people, and a chatbot session if the users attempt to schedule a meeting room for more than 10 people. Okay, you need to identify the action to use, you need to identify the action to be used, which action you should use. Now, here, it's very small. I'm not sure if you were able to read it well, but allow users to initiate the chatbot by typing phrase, "help me meet someone." So if I'm seeing the word phrase, then it will be create a trigger phrase. Okay, like we saw. So create a trigger phrase. So here I should type, help me meet, I don't know what. Okay. Second, provide meeting room capacity option 1 to 4 or 1 to 5. So which one of these? It should be a question node. So from here, overview, topics, actions. So no, nodes, activities, analytics, channels. Channels is where I'm saving it. Let's go deep into a channel. Okay, so here is the trigger, and here are the question nodes. So here are the question node, and here are the different things that we can do in a question node. One of them, as you can see over here where I am, one of them is condition. Add a condition where we said if it is 1 to 4 or 5 to 10. Okay, so to send a message, ask a question, ask with adaptive card, add a condition, topic management, add action, blah blah. All of these are under question node. Okay, and the chatbot session when the user attempt to schedule meeting room for more than 10. So this is a fallback. Automatically, this is a fallback. This is something wrong that is happening. So once they are trying to attempt to book more than 10, then call a fallback topic so that it will stop this chatbot. Okay? Okay, let's see the actions. The actions, if I click on actions, so here are the actions. So Power Automate, prompt, skill, connectors, add, delete, blah, blah, agent, if I have another agent, but the flow, that fallback, the one that I showed you, is the one that we can say from here, from this topic and this meeting, or and this conversation. Okay. Let me see what you answered for this question. Create a trigger phrase, create a condition, call an action. Okay. Yeah, this one was correct, but not call an action. I showed you what we have in the action. It is call a fallback, because this is a mistake. Whenever we have unrecognized information or mistakes, something outside this chatbot, then it is a fallback. Okay, let's proceed. You are authoring a Power Virtual Agent chatbot for the company. For each of the following statements, select yes if the statement is true, otherwise select no. When escalating to a live person from a chatbot, the customer must, pay attention, the word must, restart their issue and other information collected. It shouldn't be the case. If I already started with a chatbot, then I have a history where I'm saving information. So if I'm escalating to the live as part of the Power Virtual Agent, I can say, take this history of chat with this customer and proceed. So always, if there is must, make sure that you read well the sentence, okay? You can customize the greeting topic for every chatbot that you author. Yes, under topics, you will see several topics. So you will see greeting. Greeting is the first one. Under greeting, for example, if you are not okay with these sentences, you can add more. You can work more on the messages. You can add, so here, speech variation available. And topic, you can add more action. So you can edit the welcome message. Okay. The thing is that you are authoring it. So you are creating that chatbot. If they said from the customer side, no. Okay. It's only you who is able to do all of this. Let's proceed. You need to build a Power Virtual Agent chatbot for a company. Which component should you use to answer drag and drop? Identify keywords or questions and relate them to an issue. So whenever we have keyword, phrases, questions, then this is a trigger phrase for sure. This is a trigger phrase, as I showed you. Now, store a response that a user enters for later use. If I'm storing information, then since you are coming maybe from a computer background, so you know, whenever I'm storing information, then I have to put it in a variable. This is not only for chat, but for anything. Whenever I have to store responses, I need to put them in a variable. Now, identify a specific type of information from a user. This is called entity. Entity is a specific type or information, and we will speak about entity in a while. Let's proceed. A company is creating a chatbot to replace frequently asked questions site. You must perform step-by-step testing for all the scenarios that are part of a complex user interaction that includes multiple topics. Testers must be able to see the workflows while interacting with the chatbot. If they want to see the workflow, then it should be a demo website, okay? Because I need to see the workflow. So here under here, while I'm asking, I can see the workflow. Okay, let's see what you selected. We don't have something called chatbot designer. We only have the publish demo website, which I showed you several times. Okay, make sure only you select this one, demo website. This is the only way to test. Okay. Okay, let's proceed. You are authoring a Power Virtual Agent for a company that sells flowers and shrubs. Okay. For each of the following statements, select yes if the statement is true, otherwise select no. You can use the pre-built postal code entity to recommend plants that will work within a customer growing zone. So we can, with the pre-built entities that are already there in chatbot, we can really use the pre-built postal code to recommend plants. Yes, we can. So we can utilize this as a condition and plan it and like do the actions accordingly. You can create a custom entity to offer colors. So here, custom entity is something that we are adding, and let me explain now for you what is an entity. So node types, I showed it for you. So entities are predefined, if you want, types. Like for example, here, age is an entity. It's a pre-built, as you can see over here. Okay, so it is a pre-built, like age is a pre-built. Let me show you what else is a pre-built. Okay, so age, Boolean, city, color, continent, country or region, date, date and time, duration, email, money, language. So these are common entities that are there pre-built for you. You can build on them. Zip code is one of them. Okay, zip code is one of them. So you can start with that entity and make it as a condition. Okay. Okay, let's see. Yes, yes. The answer is yes, yes, correct. Okay, so let's proceed. We are heading toward the end. You are authoring a Power Virtual Agent chatbot for a company. For each of the following statements, select yes if the statement is true. You must create a custom action to display a knowledge-based article that answers a common question. No, you don't. This one, you don't need to create a custom action to display the knowledge base. It will automatically take it from you. You can use Power Automate to retrieve customer contact. Yes, you can create a Power Automation to take information about the customer, link it with other thing in order also to verify the authorization. Let me see what you answered over here. Yes, no. It is no, yes. Okay, let's proceed. Still have two questions. I'm not sure if Ammar, you put the attendance. You are creating a Power Virtual Agent chatbot for a company. Which component type should you use for each scenario? So the chatbot needs to capture information about the user ID for authentication. So since it is information related to ID, then it is an entity, as I showed you right now, and you need to familiarize yourself with all the different entities. A customer asks a question that needs to be handled off to a live customer support. Since we are taking it to another level, then this is a topic and it is not an action within that information. Okay, so as we mentioned, topics are the one that triggers what should be done beneath. If they ask, for example, a word that I need to have a live chat with the customer, then this is a topic, and the topic will have different information or different actions underneath. Okay, final question. You create a Power Virtual Agent chatbot for a company. The management wants to learn about the effectiveness of the chatbot. You need to identify the percentage of customers who stop responding to prompts from the chatbot. So what we can do, is it customer satisfaction? No. It is engagement over time. So under analytics, okay, this is not published, but for the ones that is published under analytics, you can, let me see if I recorded something for you. No, under analytics, you can find a lot of these information. I guess this one is published. So you can see how many engagement per time and so on. And hence you can check all this information. Okay, as you can see over here. So from this one, effectiveness, okay, how much it is effective. And here you can see unengaged, how many are unengaged, escalated, resolved, and so on. And you can see also in this view. Okay, now I don't have anything. This is why no information are listed. Okay, so the answer here is engagement over time. Okay. That's all for today's session. I hope you enjoyed. As we mentioned, if you have any question that you are not able to answer it or that you are hesitant in the answer, drop us an email and we will try to go through it. Okay. Thank you all for joining us, Ammar. You are
Thank
still with
you.
us.
Thank you so much, Solange. I posted the attendance link in the chat. I'll keep it open for the next 5 minutes. Please make sure to sign in there. And thank you so much, Solange, for the session today.
Thank you, Ammar. Thank you all. Have a great day. Bye.
You too. Bye bye. Take care.
Hello. Mr. Ammar, can I ask a question?
Hello, Jamil. Yeah, of course you can. Go ahead.
For the local submission, you have received my email.
Yes, I saw it. I'm
This,
going to reply to you. It's fine. So don't worry about it. So everything is sorted.
okay. Okay,
Okay.
thank you, and thank you
Thank
for
you.
the session.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.